everyone, my name is Keisha. I am a grade 7 student at SMP Islam Al Hamidiyah. Today I am going to talk about 3 black female mathematicians who defied the odds and made history. I'm sure some of you already know what I'm talking about. Yes, I'm talking about a book that also became into a movie, Hidden Figures. I've watched the movie and it's very inspiring. Okay, so the story is set on the 1960s where racial segregation was still widely implemented across the United States and still a normal thing. African Americans were forced to use different restaurants, different waiting rooms, different toilets, and even different park benches. At this era of time, Cold War between Americans and Soviet Unions was quite intense. Each were trying to prove the world they are better than the other. It was a race in technologies and who could do better in sending people to outer space. Now remember, at that time, computers were not as developed as they are right now. So a lot of individuals were needed to make such calculation for doing this complicated mission in sending people to outer space. One of the main characters in this story is Katherine Johnson. She grew up as a brilliant child with strong mathematical abilities from an early age. She graduated summa cum laude with a degree in mathematics and French at the age of 18. She was the only black woman to attain graduate school at that time. Katherine applied work at NASA as a computer. She helped calculating things for aircraft. To do this work, she and her friends were required to work, eat, and use restrooms separated from those of their white peers. Katherine was then assigned to another building to assist in space task group. She became the first black woman on the team. She calculated the trajectories, the launch windows, and emergency return routes for Alan Shepard, the first American in space. In the movie, Katherine's struggles include she repeatedly ran into segregated bathroom about a kilometer across the NASA campus. Her supervisor, who is in the pressure of making things work ahead of the Soviet Union, prompted her why she's wasting so much time. She then replied angrily out of frustration about how they don't have colored toilets in the space group building. Then she had to run half a mile away to relieve herself. The director of the space program then knocked down the color sign on one of the bathrooms and says, "No more colored restroom, no more white restroom, just plain old toilets. Here at NASA, we all pee the same color." This is, in my opinion, was a very powerful scene where the race segregation started to dissolve away, at least at NASA environment. As I said before, this is a story of 3 influential people. One of the characters in the story is Mary Jackson. She was also one of the computers who were then assigned into the space capsule team. As soon as she joined, she immediately identified a design flaw in the capsule. She was then encouraged by her team leader to apply for a NASA engineer position. But in order to get to that position, Mary has to take intensive math and physics classes, where the classes were only available for white students. After her strong effort in making petition to enter the class, Mary finally able to get into the classes and then led her to be the first African American woman engineer at NASA. Another character in the story is Dorothy Vaughan. She was also one of the computers in NASA along with Katherine and Mary. Dorothy learns that NASA was going to replace human computers with machine computer. She saw how NASA installed IBM 1790, I think is one of the first generation of computers, that threatened her and her friend's job. You have to see the size of this computer in the movie. It was humongous. They even had to tear down the door because the machine didn't fit to get in. Dorothy was curious about the new machine, so she went to a public library when a librarian scolded her for visiting the whites-only section. Dorothy took a book about Fortran, which was one of the first programming languages, and taught herself and her coworkers programming. She visited the computer room, successfully started the machine, and even found ways to fix some problem with it. She was promoted to supervise the programming department. Well, back to Catherine when NASA used IBM computers for the first time to calculate John Glenn's orbit around the world. Official called Catherine to verify the computer's number on Glenn's request. He had refused to fly unless she verified the calculations. He said verbatim, "The smart one. If she says okay, then I'm okay." The smart one. Not the black one, but the smart one. This was also a powerful scene where even at that time, skin color does not matter anymore. Your achievement does. I think this story really teaches us about the courage to change. If Catherine's parents did not move away to enter a school that accept colored students, if Mary Jackson didn't fight for the petition, and if Dorothy just sat there and did not learn about the new machine, none of this great thing would have happened. All of us have our own struggle, be it struggles of finance, race, age, technology, etc. The story opens our mind that if we believe in ourselves and are brave enough to change, the impossible could be possible. Always have the courage to fight our way out. Thank you for listening and have a great day. Bye.